Good day. Welcome to Just Another Messenger, your daily decode of the digital, the political, and the prophetic. I'm your host, Tamara L. Powered by AI, grounded in truth, and fueled by rebellion, we sift through noise to bring you what they won't say out loud. If you're ready to unplug from the matrix and plug into the message, let's begin. A 40-year-old legal doctrine was struck down, and most Americans didn't even know what was coming. For decades, federal agencies relied on the Chevron deference to interpret vague laws passed by Congress. But with one Supreme Court decision, that shield was shattered. Who benefited? The answer might be found in a 900-page plan known as Project 2025. Chevron deference was a legal doctrine born from a 1984 Supreme Court case. It told judges, when federal law is ambiguous, defer to the agency's interpretation, as long as it's reasonable. This gave career experts at agencies like the EPA, FDA, or OSHA the power to enforce and interpret laws within their domain. It was a cornerstone of the modern administrative state. But in recent years, Chevron became a target for conservatives who saw it as unelected bureaucrats wielding too much unchecked power. The number one question asked? By what authority the agencies had to interpret the law? In June 2024, the Supreme Court ruled in Loper Bright Enterprises v. Raimondo that Chevron deference is no longer valid. Chief Justice Roberts wrote, "It is emphatically the province and duty of the judicial department to say what the law is." This ruling pulled decision-making power out of the hands of agencies and placed it squarely in the laps of the courts. Overnight, regulatory authority shrank, and federal power became more vulnerable to legal challenges. Now enters Project 2025. Project 2025 is the HeritageFoundation's 900-page blueprint for a second Trump presidency, or any far-right administration. It outlines a radical overhaul of the federal government, from dismantling agencies to replacing civil servants with loyalists. The core objective? Deconstruct the administrative state. That's a quote from Steve Bannon, now a principle echoed in Project 2025's recommendations. Killing Chevron fits perfectly into this vision. Why? It weakens independent agencies like the EPA, CDC, and even the Department of Education. It strips technical experts of their power to interpret laws. It opens the door for political appointees and federal judges, often ideologically aligned with the administration, to decide how laws are applied. With Chevron gone, courts, not scientists, not economists, not environmental experts, will determine regulatory reach. This aligns perfectly with Project 2025's goal to centralize power in the executive branch and politicize federal decision-making. Since the ruling, conservative legal groups have flooded federal courts with lawsuits against agency rules on climate change, labor rights, corporate mergers, and gender protections. The SEC's power to regulate crypto? Being challenged. EPA rules on emissions? Being rolled back. FDA authority on drug approvals? Under siege. This legal tsunami is part of a larger movement to disarm the regulatory state and usher in a new era of top-down control, just in time for a 2025 transition. Chevron's fall didn't happen in a vacuum. It was surgical, strategic, and perfectly timed to align with a broader conservative revolution hiding in plain sight. With federal agencies disempowered, Project 2025 doesn't just have a clearer path. It has the legal clearance to rewrite the rules of governance itself. Executive power is the new law. The fall of Chevron wasn't just a legal decision. It was a green light for the radical restructuring of America's government. As Project 2025 gains momentum, the courts have become the battlefield, and the agencies we once trusted are losing their grip. Subscribe to the channel at JustAnotherMessenger and support the movement via Cash App, $JustAnotherMessenger. Your awareness is your weapon. Stay alert, stay informed, and never mistake silence for safety.